Today I'm going to be talking about Blind Executioner for the Ranger. So, it has a whopping 45 skill points, like every other blessing that every other character has to unlock Blind Executioner. Everything else is usually like 25 or 10. So I'm going to actually make my way over to the marketplace, see if I can buy a couple more skill points, and see if I can actually max out the other important part of this blessing. Because the thing that you do want to basically max out is something that's similar to Mark, but not quite Mark. And it's when you do fire from above, you add a bit of a dot damage. I'm willing to spend about, let's say, 400,000 starseeds. Let's see if I can max that bad boy out. Here you have, I'm just going to finish this quick video, by the way, Lethal, and I'll be done soon. Let me invite you so you can do this corrupted creation with me, yeah? Alright, so I'm gonna go to the memory gem section. Hopefully they're solid. Let's see. Alright, so that's 15k, so 2 of those would be 30k, so I'm hoping that the purple gems are actually less than that. But not likely. Oh wow, they are 28k. Okay. Normally they sell for about 36k, as you can see. Whew, I'm gonna spend a good amount of money right here. Let's see. It's a skill point. It's a skill point. It's 3 skill points. Okay. Spend about 150,000. Because I have been neglecting this tune for a while. This time I don't. Alright, I'm under 1 million. I don't want to spend any more than that because I want to always stay above 1 mil just in case I want to buy something on the marketplace. Alright. My goal here is to pretty much kind of max out the fire from above. If I have to go buy a couple more, then I guess I'll have to buy a couple more. Just like that, I do have 10 skill points, so that's pretty good. That should be enough to max out the fire from above. I spent around like 300,000. I got 11 skill points. Okay, so this is the blessing I was talking about. See, fire from above says increase fire from above damage plus 5%. 5%. Increase the duration by 2 seconds. Fire from above inflicts bleeding on affected enemies over time for 10 seconds. When cast while targeting an enemy, fire from above tracks the enemy and continues to fall in their location for the duration. And lastly, fire from above inflicts pain on affected enemies, increasing the received damage 1% for 7 seconds. The effect can stack up to 5 times. I think I'm actually short. So 1, 2. So I need to buy, yeah, 1 more, and I'll be good. The reason that's extremely important is because a lot of rangers go into dungeons and they don't have Mark anymore. I don't blame them because it's a really boring class to play because you're only using Mark. However, that is the role that you play in dungeons. You have to do that. Okay, so I'm not gonna spend 30k. I'm only gonna spend 15k. That should push me over the edge. Let's see. Okay. Just like that, I have it all maxed out. 19 of 45 skill points, and the goal here is to max out the rest, but in the meantime, I'm just going to talk about these. When we get into a dungeon, so I can pretty much show you guys what this is capable of. We're going to get into a not so hard Not so easy, because I don't want the monster to die too fast. Now, I usually do Corrupted Creation, because that's pretty clear cut. But always remember though, if you're going to be using Blind Executioner, the first thing you want to max out is Fire from Above. Fire from Above, along with the bow, it's pretty nasty. So this is the bow that I'm using. Reduces Fire from Above cooldown by minus 3.5 seconds. The max roll is 4 seconds. Now, let's go over the skills. I've already talked about Fire from Above. Now, Ambush Shot. Quickly slide in the direction you're moving while firing an arc of arrows in the direction you're aiming, damaging multiple enemies. If cast while standing still, you will slide forward. Reduces Ambush Shot arrow cost minus 3. Increase Ambush Shot damage by 5%, extra 5%, and then minus 3 cooldown. Ambush Shot grants immunity to most interrupts for the duration. Ambush Shot briefly stuns affected enemies. This is probably by far one of my favorite skills in this blessing because you just feel very mobile. It's really good in PvP as well. Fire from Above is probably the best part of PvP because they follow the enemy wherever they go. It's kind of like homing missiles. Lightning Arrow. So here, great moveset. 5 extra damage, reduce the cooldown by 3 seconds. I gotta start charging my controller. I just died. Give me a second, folks. Plugging that bad boy in right now. Alright. So the next thing is extra 5% damage, reduced by 5, the arrow cost by minus 5. Increase lightning arrow damage 5%, increase lightning arrow 5%. So this move actually does a lot of damage when it's maxed out all the way. I only chose to max this out up to here because everything else is nice, but I don't need it for dungeons right now. Because Thundering Arrows damage does 5%, 5%, and if you wear this with the 20% Thundering Arrows pants, you're literally hitting for over 150 to 200,000 on your Thundering Arrows. I don't because I don't have that build. I didn't build my Ranger like that, but I'm going to be slowly changing it to that. When a Thundering Arrows is fully charged, the consecutive explosions stun affected enemies for 1 second. And the last thing, which is really good for PvP, and most Rangers have been doing this, is the Thundering Arrows causes a final explosion, which knocks down affected enemies. So now let's go in and use all these moves. You ready, Lethal? Alright, so here's Ambush Shot. And here's Fire from Above. If you pay attention, I'm marking the enemy right there by 5. As you can see the skull underneath his health, he's getting 5% dot damage while in the Thundering Arrows. The Fire from Above. So there goes Thundering Arrows, that goes Lightning Arrows, and then this is Thundering Arrows right here. Pull it up and boom. If you equip it with the right skill set, then you can actually reload it quickly. There goes Fire from Above again. It's pretty much dead. That was a little easy, so we're gonna go back in and do this again, but on the Cursed Knight, so you guys can see a bit more of just some more gameplay with Blind Executioner. It's viable to use Fire from Above, but only if there's another Ranger with Nightwind or Lionheart Legacy that has Mark. Personally, I have a lot of fun playing it, but I don't use it. I don't use it because people need the right skills in a dungeon. 35% damage over 5%. It just doesn't make any sense for me to use that. I'm gonna fight a tankier opponent, so it'll last a little longer. So you can see a bit more. I will say this though, I don't have the other two skills unlocked, so you're not seeing the numbers reflect accurately. So I will be doing another video showcasing how much damage you can do with these builds. I don't even have all of my gear on because I'd be using a crit damage build, but right now I'm using reds. So you're definitely not seeing the capabilities because my crit damage right now is 143, and that's not as high. Like with my Desert Song and all the gear that I normally put on, my crit damage is pushing like 170, 180, and with if I were to use like the crit damage like gloves and the crit damage shoulder, I'd be pushing over 200% crit damage, which is how you should be building your ranger. So let me make sure that I actually have all of my gear on. Here's my necklace. Sinister Ring is active. Yep, we're good. Let's go in and clap some cheeks. Man, dude, like that move right there, I don't know what it is, but it just feels badass. Like the ambush shot. Like, you're so busy having fun doing all your other moves that you forget that you're a ranger and you can actually do your regular normal basics. And that's the thing about playing rangers. Like, people don't understand that they complain about rangers not using mark in the dungeons. I'm one of those people, but they don't realize how long we've played only right triggering. Like, this is literally all we do every dungeon. Like, just right trigger the whole time. Or right bumper, you know, if you have that moveset. Like, what are we gonna do? Parting shot in between the mark, or throw smokes? Like, we do that too, but that just gets stale. Like, we finally have a move that we can actually have fun with. Like ambush shot helps you move in, or back off, keep your distance, all that. It's like you finally have some variation to this blessing that, you know, Lionheart Legacy and Nightwind just never gave. Like, look, if I'm too close to the guy, I want to back up. Like, I can just back up and then ambush shot. Alright, GG's. Well, that's pretty much it. That is Blind Executioner for the Ranger. Now, you know, if you liked it, feel free, you know, feel free to like and subscribe. If you're new to the channel, I am the guitarist, and I play every single class to show you guys what you can and can't do with all the different blessings to give you, to kind of save you time and choose which character you want to play, the numbers you want to be hitting, and etc. etc. But you know, thank you guys for everything, and again, I'm gonna be resuming my daily uploads. My next goal right now is probably to just be farming boxes for my priest, because that's the only one that is missing Blind Executioner. Again, I don't have this maxed out. You need 45 whopping skill points. That's going to take me some time. But I am going to be showing other classes, like, you know, different builds so that you can try, like, you know, the reds build for the ranger, the whites build for the ranger, the right gear and what's the wrong gear. And if you're here from PS4, just be ready. The two things, or two characters that I would say you definitely need in this game are going to be a ranger and a Zerk in a dungeon. Those are the two classes that everyone always asks for, and they're the most in demand. And you will always get into a dungeon group even if you're queuing up solo, because you're those classes. But yeah, don't forget to follow the socials, Twitch, Instagram, and Twitter, which is Guitarist562. And tomorrow I'll be uploading another video as well. It'll probably be Nightwind on the mage that I finally got. But peace out, guys.